This is a story of Kamerwa Aline Mary, who works at the Agro-forestry Institute, Bugonji, Kabale, in southwest Uganda, and of the work of the Wings Agro-forestry Farmers Group in Kabale District, Uganda. The Agro-forestry Institute is funded by ICREF, an international credit and finance organisation. After completing my school education, I was trained in agroforestry, and now I am employed as a change agent to help local farmers to improve and develop. My title is Women's Coordinator, to promote agroforestry, seed management, training of others, and to develop self-confident women farmers. I have 2 assistants, Wilson and Addison. Office duties include writing reports and educational papers on farming change and to run training courses. At the Institute, we seed seedlings in raised plots with shade to protect the seedlings. There were a number of species being grown and studied by the Institute's nursery, including conifers and deciduous trees. Next, we will visit 2 farmers helped by the work of the Institute. Both farmers live about 8 miles north of Kabale town. The first is Mrs. Bertha Babunkiza. This lady is the chairperson of the Wings Muchahi Farmers Group, Bubari sub-county, one of 2 local farmers groups that wish to improve their farming. The group was initially a women's group, but in order to incorporate the men, it is now called Wings, to represent the dual partnership of women and men in this work. Wood from local trees is used to cook food. The Wings group promote the building and use of clay ovens for multiple cooking pots. This reduces the need to cut down trees. The Anglican Church in Kabale District runs a project for the poorest families with children to obtain a heifer or young cow. The heifer project helps to provide milk for the children. The poorer farmers practice zero grazing with a single cow. Zero grazing means that the cow spends all day in a narrow pen outside and has a shelter at night. Grass and vegetation are collected and given to the cow through the day. Ash from the stove ovens is also useful and deters pests. Urine from the cow is collected and is sprayed over the crops as an insecticide. 4 other groups in this area have a cow, but most local farmers have no animals. My cow, for the first few months, gave no milk. Now it produces 5 litres of milk each day. There are 10 agroforestry groups in the area, supported by the Institute. Caliandra is a bush plant used for hedges, and as a leguminous plant, it does provide oxygen fixing properties in the roots. This improves soil facilities. The Caliandra bush is used to make hedges across slopes with the napier grass underneath to prevent soil erosion. Napier grass is a good fodder crop for animals. Poor family farms grow crops in soil mounds. This allows water in heavy rains to collect in the gully between mounds, keeping the crop roots from being waterlogged. The mounds often contain a variety of plants to survive problems with the weather. In drier seasons, plant waste is laid in the gullies and between the plants to shade the soil and to preserve the moisture that is in the soil. This dry waste material is then called a mulch. Once one crop is harvested, another is planted to replace it, as crop growing is all year round. There are 2 wet seasons and 2 drier seasons. The farmer has 2 basic tools, the djembe, a form of hoe, and the panga, a large knife. My farm is doing well. I now have a cow and 2 pigs. Recently the pigs have produced piglets. The peelings from bananas and potatoes are fed to the pigs. On my farm, the manure heap, crops, animals and people are close together. There is no unused space. The second farmer, Jocelyn, is further down the valley. It is a small farm owned by a young family who belong to my Wings group. This couple also have a cow, and they put the droppings, the crop waste and the cut napier grass in one pit, and 3 weeks later transfer the manure to a second pit, mixing it up to improve it. 3 weeks later, the manure is added to their crops. Here you can see the caliandra hedge on the left, manure pits in the front centre, napier grass to the right, and maize growing at the back of the view. Overall, there has been a decline in farm productivity. 50 years ago, there was more fog in the valley, more trees, better soils, and better crop harvests. Goodbye.